Saturday, November 8th, 2025, everybody, and we got some weather to talk about here. And of course, the reason why I am making this video today is because that we're going to get the first snowstorm or snowfall of the season. Woohoo! Finally! After waiting like 4 months for it, actually like 12 months, if you're the Lakers fan, you guys are finally going to be experiencing some snow here. So I am really excited for this. And let me just move through the overview forecast just so we can go throughout the after, because we're going to dive so much deeper into that right now. So the snowfall will be located across the, as you can see, across the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, the Northeast, and the Ohio Valley. In some parts of Virginia as well, especially on top of the higher Appalachian Mountains. And we're also going to be seeing snow mostly across Canada and the Rocky Mountains too, of course. So here as we take a look at the H-triple-R model showing, so this is as of 1 p.m. today, and you can see the snowstorm is already starting for parts of like Kansas and for parts of Kansas and Arizona is where the snow is already starting to accumulate, and we're already seeing the snow up there across the eastern UP of Michigan and parts of eastern South Dakota as well as of 1 p.m. Moving to a couple hours till 3 p.m. today. By the time you're watching this video, we got snowstorm which will develop across the Kansas and parts of Kansas and Minnesota. Plus, snowfall should start to come down across more of Michigan. Should be getting into the fun. By 5 p.m. today, all the snow will be to the upper Great Lakes, including parts of the Canada and the more of Michigan. And you can see here, parts of southeastern Kansas will be starting to get into the fun, as we can see this low pressure system starting to develop across the Arkansas area. As we move forward to 7 p.m., you can see the snow really start to get going here across parts of Wisconsin and in more of a tip by Illinois. We're also seeing the snow, like if that snow is trying to get into full swing here in the UP of Michigan and parts of the and parts of Kansas too will still be getting into some fun. By 9 p.m., by the time the temperatures cool for that night, we can start to see some snow falling in Indiana, guys. That's right, Indiana could be start seeing some fun. Parts of Illinois, parts of Wisconsin, and parts of eastern Kansas will be seeing some fun here as we reach through 9 p.m. By 11 p.m., you can see some southern Michigan, northwestern Ohio, and far northwestern Ohio, and more of a tip of, along with whole state of Wisconsin and the UP of Michigan, will be getting into some of the fun. Like of that snow for possibly lakes as well, while we see this low pressure system and some snowstorms for parts of Michigan into Wisconsin, especially going into the Chicago area. By 1 a.m. tomorrow morning on November 9th, you can see the rain starting to make Ohio. It's going to be raining hard across parts of Indiana and Illinois, but snow should start to develop across parts of the more into the more central Illinois, more western Ohio, more Indiana, and way southern Michigan will be start to see some fun here. 3 a.m. tomorrow morning, as we move on, we shall start to see some heavier snow starting to develop across more Indiana and Michigan as the low pressure system deepens, and we'll move into the Indiana, Kentucky, and southern Ohio area, and you should start seeing some, like if that Mako snow band starts to come down into more of the tip of Wisconsin from Canada here. As you can see, more of a Illinois should start seeing some. As we take on forward to 7 a.m. by tomorrow morning, things should start to get in full swing here. As much of West Ohio should start seeing this first snowfall of the season here. From West Ohio will be joining to the fun. Central Indiana, Eastern Michigan should be starting to join into some of the fun. Illinois and parts of Western Michigan should be start seeing into some fun here. And as you can see here, this will start getting to full swing here by 9-10 a.m. as the warm air might get rid of some of the snow along with high sun angle and some data heating for this time of year. But you can see snow should be start getting into more of the central Ohio around Augusta area, into the Columbus area right there. Should be getting into more fun. Parts of Western Great Lakes should be getting into some of the lake effect fun as well. And things will start to get interesting. This low pressure system will bring heavy rain across southern Ohio into Pennsylvania and New York. And by 3 p.m. tomorrow, New York and the Buffalo area should be starting to get into some of the fun as well. Of course, people in Buffalo, New York will be happy to see most of the football games tomorrow. And you can see here, parts of Indiana and Michigan should start seeing into some of the fun as well. It's going to be super exciting. Don't forget the rain might still pour across the Great Lakes, especially into the lakeshore, into the lakes as well, due to warmer waters here. So they can see here, it should really start to get going across Cleveland, Ohio, into Northeast Ohio and Northwest Pennsylvania by the overnight hours of Sunday. And this marble ends, you can see, and all the Great Lakes is seeing snowfall, so that's going to be some really good news right there. So here is what the marble is looking at like for the HRRR marble. You can see all the Ohio, Kentucky, Virginia should be start seeing the first flakes of the season. All the New England area is going to start seeing the first flakes of the season. So it'll be really excited for everybody as we reach into November 12th at 7 p.m. here. So that's going to be really exciting. And here's the total snowfall by the region marble by the time all of this is said and done. And you can see, especially closer to the lake. Now take this as a grain of salt because, of course, this is not your actual snow totals. In fact, it should be a 3 to 5 inches lower than what you're seeing here because of the higher sun angle and warmer grounds here. But I mean, all of this should be starting to take it into account, especially as we reach December, January, February time frame, is when this will all get stuck here. And you can see here, 9 inches for 10 inches for parts of more Ohio, Northwest Pennsylvania, parts of our area, and then parts of Indiana, southwest tip of Michigan there. And you can see 8 to 9 inches of snow is possible across Northwest Ohio, Indiana, and Michigan, and the UP and Michigan. And don't forget parts of North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Kansas, and Illinois should be start seeing more of the fun as well. So get ready, guys, because it's going to be a heavy snowstorm. But don't forget, when you're driving in this, please be really careful and make sure to stay about 10 feet away from the snow piles here, so as let them get to work, okay? Okay, so what's going to happen after that? Well, we also going to get a temperature blast too, like you can see here by overnight tonight. Look at that. The Dakotas area will start seeing into the teens, into the single digits for the first time this year, which is pretty crazy as this positive PNA blows up, which will bring all this cool air down. This is for tonight. As we reach through tomorrow night or Sunday night, you can see here this all the temperature will start getting down into Ohio. Like 33 degrees down in Alabama and the Twin States, Georgia, South Carolina. That's crazy, guys. Like you can see this is starting to come down, and Florida should be starting into some of the fun as well here, according to this GFS marble. But look at Monday night. Wow, look at that. Monday night. And okay, glad I'm showing this because parts of Florida could be getting into some of the fun too, across the upper 30s. So it's going to be really cool for Florida and for all the eastern states. and then it should start to get warmed up again by Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday before it starts getting cooler again. And then eventually start getting warmed up as we reach the end of a marble one, but take this as a grain of salt since, of course, this is the end here. So take a look at this future view map here. You can see, but this is by November 13, which is on a Wednesday. By Thursday here on November 14, you can see the snow starting to develop across the Great Lakes. By Friday, you can see this Alpha Spirit River may start to hit the northwest United States there across Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. And this may bring snow to the higher elevation and wind to the lower elevation as normal for this time of year for then. And you can see this severe weather may start to develop by the time we reach the 16th of November, going across the eastern United States. Maybe a snowstorm across the more of the Great Lakes, but this would change, so take that as we gonna saw. And as we reach into the later marble here, November 20th, and look at November 21st. We're seeing this deep drop starting to bore across the bringing heavy snowstorms across the central and western United States. So that's going to be pretty clear, but this will not hit us as this will. And as we reach till the end of the marble one, which take that as we gonna saw, little possibilities on snowstorms for Dakota and Minnesota, and some thunderstorms across the south here. So it's going to be so excited over the next couple of weeks, especially over the next couple of days in my area. So I hope you guys are ready for this. So you can take a look at this. GFS marble here. This Cloud Prediction Center is going to be worn across 8 to 10, 14 day will be worn across the southern United States, a little bit below average across the northeast and the southwest here, which is pretty odd. And the Storm Prediction Center, don't forget that as well. We may get hail and wind potential across Indiana and Ohio today, as well as South Carolina. But look at tomorrow. You can see here we may get thunder snow tomorrow too, especially across Lake Michigan and Lake Erie as well. Ohio, Pennsylvania should be stuck into some of the fun. So it's going to be really excited here to see what it looks like tomorrow. So subscribe, stay, comment, and I might post a video about the first snowfall of the season, as well as the winter forecast, which is already done. So subscribe today, subscribe if you had in space for the crowd. We'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye. Whoop.